Dear learners, which subject have you been studying these days more than any other subject? Well, in this very video, I'll be talking about the subject. But this is not the one which I mentioned just a few seconds back. I am going to be talking about the subject and the predicate of English grammar. So, without wasting a single second, let's get into it. Now let's have a close look at what a subject and a predicate are. In fact, a sentence has got two parts. That means a sentence is generally divided into two parts. What are they? They are the subject and the predicate. Now, what's a subject? The subject is a word or a group of words that denotes the person or thing about whom or which something is said in a sentence. Now, doesn't it seem a little bit confusing? Okay, I'll make the confusion clear by looking at the trick I have written for you. Just have a look. There are 3 points. The first one goes a word or a group of words. That means a subject is a word or a group of words. The second point is that it's a person or a thing. The third point is the most important point, and that is we speak about. That means we speak about a thing in a sentence or we speak about a person in a sentence. And the person we talk about or the thing we talk about is the subject. Clear? I think it's clear to you. Look at the note over there. A subject must be a noun or noun equivalent. That means the subject must be a noun. And what is a noun equivalent? A noun equivalent is what is almost similar to a noun. Okay, we will talk about it later on. Now let's have a look at the predicate. What's a predicate? The predicate is a word or a group of words that denotes what is said about the subject. Let's have a look at the trick which is written over there. The first point is that it's a word or a group of words. And the second point is that what is said about the subject. That means suppose you exclude the subject from a sentence, what remains is the predicate. Suppose you separate the subject part from a sentence and the remaining part would be the predicate. What is left is the predicate. I think it's clear to you. Let's have a look at the note written over there. A predicate must contain a finite verb. This is a very important point. Without a finite verb, there could be no predicate at all. And the second point is written over there, expressed or understood. Sometimes it is written or spoken, and sometimes it is not written or spoken, and that is why we can say it is understood. Let's have a quick look at some of the simplest examples possible. In the subject section, I have written the subjects, and in the predicate section, I have written the predicates. Well, let's have a look at the first example, which goes Ravi sings. Here in this particular sentence, Ravi is the person we are talking about, and that is why Ravi is the subject here. And what is said about the subject Ravi? Sings. So sings is the word which is said about the subject Ravi. And we already know that what is said about the subject is the predicate, and that's why here the word sings is the predicate. Now let's have a quick look at some of the examples written over there. He goes to school. He is the subject and the rest is the predicate. My brother did this. The same is the case with that. The sky is blue. Next example goes. And the fifth one is that the color of these pens is black. Here one thing has to be noticed, and the thing is that sometimes a subject could be single worded and sometimes a subject could have more than one word. That is, a subject could be multi-worded. Now, I would like to have more discussion on subject, and this part of the video is meant for those who have learned a little bit of English. That means this part is meant for the advanced learners. Those who want to crack competitive examinations must watch this part very attentively. Now, before I make a start, I would just like to tell you a piece of information. I have made another video on the same topic in Bangla language. If you would like to watch that, you can go to the description box. I have left the link in. The subject, coming back to our discussion, the subject must be a noun or noun equivalent. We have already discussed this, but we would like to have a close look at what noun equivalents are. It would be very, very clear just after having some examples. Now this part I am going to be discussing is going to be very, very important for you. In fact, you have to be very, very good at something. Should I tell you what it is? It's a question that you have to make to find out the subject from a sentence. The subject can be hiding anywhere in the sentence. In any part of the sentence, the subject can be hiding. What you have to do, you have to put who or what before the main verb. That means the main verb has to be found out at first, and after that you have to put who or what before the main verb. And the answer you will get definitely would be the subject. And if you don't find an answer to your question, then you can say that in that particular sentence the subject is missing or understood. Okay, this is what you need to do. Let's have a look at what I have just written. I'll just have a quick read. The subject is found as an answer to the question who or what asked before the main verb. This is what I have already discussed in detail. Now we would just like to have a look at the types of subject. The first one goes, a noun could be used as a subject. Look at the example, Torun goes to school, and this is what you have to be very, very good at. The question, who goes to school? The answer to your question will be Torun. So Torun is the subject in this particular sentence. I have underlined all the subjects there. Just have a look at them. The second one is that pronoun. That means a pronoun can be used as a subject. He did this. The question goes, who did this? The answer to this question is he. So he is the subject in this sentence. The third one is that it's a gerund, which can be used as a subject. I can make another video on this, on gerunds, what gerunds are, how they can be used. I can make another video. If you tell me, you can write that in the comment section, then I'll be making a video on that. Smoking is injurious to health. The question is, what is injurious to health? It is smoking. Here in this particular sentence, smoking is the subject. Infinitive. I can make a separate video on this as well. If you want a video on this, you can type in the comment section. Infinitive, to are is human. The question is, what is human? And the answer to this question is to are. Here to are is the subject. The fifth one, it's a phrase that could be used as a subject. Reading novels is a good hobby. This is also a gerund, but as there are two words, it could be considered as a phrase as well. The question is, what is a good hobby? The answer to this question is reading novels. The next one is that it's a noun clause that could be used as a subject. How the prisoner escaped is a mystery. Now, what's a mystery? The mystery is that the mystery is how the prisoner escaped. This is the answer to the question. So how the prisoner escaped, this whole clause is the answer to the question, and that is why this whole clause has been used as the subject here. Now I would like you to study the following sentences. It is clear that you are ill. Here it is called the anticipatory subject or the formal subject. Now I would like to tell you not to cram your brain, not to burden your brain with these terms like anticipatory subject or formal subject. What you need to do is to use them. Use it or there in your sentences. I think that would be more than enough. Well, that you are ill is a noun clause in opposition to the anticipatory it. I'll make a simple question. What is clear? That you are ill is the answer to your question. So this has been called the apposition to the anticipatory subject. Look at the example. There are 6 books on the table. Here there has lost its adverbial function. That means there is an adverb. But here in this particular sentence, the word there has been used as the subject. Clear? There in this sentence is called the formal subject. And 6 books is the real subject. Got it? That means there has been used, you know the usage of introductory there, introductory it. I know that you know them. Well, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to think about the terms that I have discussed. Just learn the usage. That would be more than enough. I repeat. The position of a subject. Now I have already told you that the subject can be hiding anywhere in any part of the sentence. Well, the subject could be there at the beginning of a sentence, in the middle of a sentence, or at the end of a sentence. Let's have a look at the examples. I go to school. Here I is there and it is written at first. That means this subject is there at the beginning of a sentence. Look at the second example. Every afternoon he goes for a walk. Here after the words every afternoon he is there and he is the subject and it is in the middle of a sentence. Look at the third one. Sweet are the uses of adversity. This is a famous line by Shakespeare. Here the subject is the uses of adversity. And I have already told you how to find out a subject from a sentence. You have to put who or what before the main verb. That's the trick. Now, dear learners, this is the task for you. All you have to do is to find out the subjects from these 4 sentences and write the answers in the comment section below. I'll just have a quick read of all the sentences there. The first one is go upstairs. The second one is suddenly started a heavy shower. The third one is on top of the hill lives a hermit. The fourth one is silver and gold I have none. Thanks for watching.